Walang aywanan.
Alex Eala filled the entire Khalifa International Stadium for a first-round Qatar Open match, while Grand Slam champions played in front of half-empty stands. The organizers made her the main feature ahead of world number ones, and established stars. Around 7,000 Filipino fans turned a regular weekday match into an electric atmosphere, while top-seeded players performed in quiet sessions with scattered applause and many empty seats under the desert heat. Do you think Alex Eala now has stronger drawing power than current Grand Slam champions, or is this simply the strong support of the Filipino community creating a temporary moment? Share your honest opinion in the comments below. Let's look at the facts first, because what happened in Doha was not just surprising, it was something rarely seen in modern women's tennis. Alex Eala, ranked outside the top 100, played a first-round match against Teresa Valentova and sold out the entire stadium. Not just a strong turnout, but a full sellout. Tickets disappeared within minutes after the schedule was announced. Resellers even showed up for a first-round match, and security had to be tightened because the crowd gathering near the player entrance became difficult to control. To understand how unusual this is, the Qatar Open has featured legends like Serena Williams, Maria Sharapova, Justine Henin, and Iga Świątek, and early rounds are usually quiet with many empty seats and a calm atmosphere while top players ease into the event. That is normal for WTA 1000 tournaments, where the biggest matches are saved for prime sessions and early rounds mainly support the schedule rather than drive ticket demand. But Alex Eala completely changed that pattern. The organizers reviewed the draw, saw several Grand Slam winners and top 10 stars, and still chose the 20-year-old Filipino as the main attraction. That decision shows the level of interest around her and suggests she is drawing attention even compared to players who have already reached the very top of the sport.
Pipila din tayo.
And the organizers were right, because the stadium did not just fill, it turned into a true home crowd. Flags were everywhere, chants echoed around the venue, and the noise reached levels usually heard at major football events. The environment was intense for Valentova and full of energy for Eala, creating a Davis Cup or Billie Jean King Cup feeling during a regular tour match. The reason behind this moment is simple, but often ignored by tennis officials. Qatar has a very large Filipino community with hundreds of thousands living and working there for years. They waited for someone to represent them on a global stage. They once had Manny Pacquiao in boxing, and now they have Alex Eala in tennis, turning the Khalifa International Complex into their stronghold. Once the schedule was released, the response was immediate and natural. Social media groups, community networks, and fan circles organized quickly. This was not driven by marketing or promotion. It was pure grassroots support from people eager to stand behind one of their own. Meanwhile, other sessions told a very different story. Reports showed that matches involving top seeds during similar time slots reached only about 30 to 40% capacity. Even Grand Slam champions and former world number ones played in front of half-empty stands, while Iga Świątek early matches also had many open seats. Players expected to attract the biggest crowds simply could not create the atmosphere that Eala generated with ease. That reality is tough for top players to accept. You have won Grand Slams, reached world number one, and dominated the tour for years. Then a 20-year-old from the Philippines without a WTA title fills a stadium, while your match draws empty seats. The reaction is understandable, because what Eala has shown is that star power in tennis is not only about rankings or trophies. It comes from connection and from representing something larger than personal success. Filipino fans are not just cheering for a Skilled athlete, they are celebrating national pride and visibility on a stage long led by European and American players. The match itself brought another challenge, because Eala had to handle the pressure of 7,000 people calling her name on every point. That support is powerful, but it also creates heavy expectations. Players can feel the urge to hit harder and force big moments to excite the crowd, even though tennis rewards patience, control, and consistency. Valentova was also a serious opponent, a strong Czech player with a powerful serve, heavy shots, and a previous win over Eala, making the contest far from easy. Valentova led their head-to-head 1-0 before this match, so Eala was not only facing the player across the net, but also the memory of that earlier defeat and her difficult record against Czech opponents in the past. That pressure might have affected her, but she showed a stronger mindset this time. She absorbed the energy from the crowd and relied on her defense and her left-handed forehand developed at the Rafael Nadal Academy to stay alive in long rallies. Again and again, she forced Valentova to play extra shots until errors began to come. One moment in the second set quickly went viral. Eala was pushed far wide on her backhand side near the doubles alley, but she chased the ball, slid on the court, and sent a passing shot down the line that clipped the corner. The reaction from the crowd was thunderous, and the noise inside the stadium was overwhelming. The medium, slow, hard courts in Doha also suited her style because the surface grips the ball and reward spin. Her heavy topspin forehand kicked up high, making it difficult for a taller, flatter hitter like Valentova to find timing, and it pushed her back behind the baseline, reducing her power advantage. After the win, Eala took the microphone and addressed the crowd in Tagalog. The crowd exploded when she spoke. She thanked them for making her feel at home and recognized the sacrifices of overseas workers who spent their hard-earned money to be there. That bond between athlete and supporters is what turns a player into something bigger. It is the kind of connection seen with legends like Muhammad Ali and Manny Pacquiao, and now Alex. Eala is building that same relationship at the same time. Players like Aryna Sabalenka may have been watching the situation and realizing how the spotlight had shifted. She is a multiple Grand Slam champion and former world number one, and on paper, she should be the main attraction, yet the tournament chose to focus its promotion on a player who has not won a WTA title. This was not a mistake by the organizers. It was a smart business choice because Eala filled the seats while other matches did not. In Qatar, the large Filipino community shows up in strong numbers and with unmatched passion, and that level of support makes a real difference. This situation also highlights a bigger issue in how the WTA promotes its players. The tour has traditionally relied on rankings and titles to decide who gets featured, but those measures do not reflect cultural impact or fan loyalty. Eala may be ranked lower than Sabalenka, but in Qatar her value as a crowd draw is far greater. From a business point of view, the business impact of this moment is huge. Tournament directors across the tour are now studying the numbers and realizing their scheduling approach may need to change. For years, prime time slots were given to top seeds based on ranking under the belief that big names guaranteed attendance, but this situation raises a new question: what if the players with the most passionate fan bases should get those spots regardless of their ranking? It also shines a light on the huge potential of the Asian market, especially Southeast Asia. The WTA has spent years focusing on China with mixed success, but the Philippines represents a fan base driven by pure emotion and loyalty. Eala is becoming the spark for that growth, and if her rise continues, it could lead to more events in the region, or at least recognition of her value as a major global draw for viewers in other parts of the world. This may seem like a rare moment, but it actually points to a larger shift in tennis audiences. For decades, the sport has been centered around Europe and the United States, where most investment, media attention, and sponsorship have been directed, yet countries like the Philippines have large, passionate tennis communities that were overlooked simply because they lacked a star to support. Now they have one, and they are proving they can create energy and ticket demand that rivals the biggest tennis markets in the world. This should worry established stars who have grown too comfortable believing they cannot be replaced, because Eala has shown that fan connection matters more than past achievements when it comes to filling the stands. The expectations on her now are huge. Tournament organizers are rushing to plan her matches because she can no longer be placed on side courts or early sessions. She has become the main event no matter who her opponent is. That is true star power when the schedule adjusts around you instead of the other way around. However, there is also a risk. A match filled with such emotion takes a lot of energy. Young players often win big emotional battles in front of supportive crowds and then struggle to perform in the next round. The drop after the adrenaline is real. Eala's team must make sure she rests properly, recovers well, and focuses fully on her next match. A tournament is not won in the opening round no matter how loud the crowd may be. The contrast between empty seats at other matches and the packed stadium for her session will be one of the lasting images of this event. No matter who wins the trophy, the story of the Qatar Open 2026 will be Eala. She brought energy, excitement, and attention to a tournament that was beginning to look like just another ordinary early season event. Sabalenka and other top seeds now have to face a new reality. They may be stronger players today with better results and bigger achievements, but they are not creating the kind of energy that Eala brings to the court. That can be a tough mental challenge. It shows that being the best player does not always make you the most important one. Filipino fans proved something that tennis leaders should pay attention to. Passionate and loyal supporters are the heart of professional sports. You can have incredible talent, but if people are not excited enough to come and create an atmosphere, the game loses its spark. Eala has a natural fan base that supports her wherever there is a Filipino community, and that exists almost everywhere in the world. This is an advantage that cannot be copied with better practice or stronger shots. It comes from culture and community. Players like Sabalenka, who have ruled through pure performance, are now seeing that modern star power requires more than just victories. Eala filled an entire stadium for a first-round match, while Grand Slam champions competed in front of empty seats. Qatar Open organizers made her their main attraction ahead of world number ones, and the choice delivered incredible energy and strong ticket sales. Today's star power is no longer just about rankings, it is about connection, and Eala clearly has it. Hit like and subscribe for more tennis reality updates.